It is live. Yes, we are live. Hello, Gabby and Melissa. How are you?
Hey, good. Good, good.
Yeah, it's so good to see you. Almost the end of the summer, almost going back to school. How are you getting ready for this?
We don't have much time to consider school. We're kind of, this is our peak season, so
This is your
school is
peak season. Yeah, and by the way, I would love for you to start with introducing yourself. Who are you and what you do?
Okay, so I'm Melissa
Gaby.
Goldsweg. This is Gaby Fechler. We're married and we have a business together for the past almost 7 years. We have two websites and we sell everything that parents need for their kids going to summer camp in the States. And the flip side of it is in Israel here, we have everything that you need going to your gap year in Israel. So we're talking about things like blankets and towels and small appliances, storage, kind of all the things that you can't schlep from home. We have it waiting for you here in Israel.
Amazing. And that takes me straight to my first question. We are here actually talking about the Scale Your Business Mastermind. And this is going to be a short interview. We're only going to be speaking for 20 minutes. And you've just joined the Scale Your Business Mastermind. And I wanted you to come on live so that we can talk about what is a mastermind, what does it do to your business, and how does it help you, and what are the results that you see. Now, the specificity of this mastermind is that it's specifically for businesses that are scaling. And so I'm going to ask you, Gabby, can you tell us, I know you've been in business for many years, can you tell us what is the difference when you get to the scaling stage? How did you feel the difference from your business when you were more in the launching, the growing, and now the scaling? What difference do you see when you get to the scaling stage?
Okay, sure. So I think in the growing stage, there's a lot of um, dilemmas and challenges you have in the scaling stage that you don't have. It's almost like the luxury of getting to that stage. When you're at a growth stage, that's not really the question. So, like, I can give you a very simple example. When we started the Pack for Israel business, the question was, is this a feasible business thing, and are there people who are going to buy the stuff, and we'll get it to them by hook or by crook. So we had literally our own home was our storehouse. We had stuff. There was a point in time where I was sleeping in my bedroom with drawers, these ketted drawers stacked next to my bed because I had nowhere else to put them. And if someone ordered one of those drawers, I'd be very happy because then I had more space in my bedroom. Put them in the car and get it to them by hook or by crook. They didn't know the difference. They were happy to get the drawers. But at some point, you scale and you can't do that anymore. And then the challenge becomes, how do I get out of my bedroom and into a real warehouse? And we went through all those different stages. And now, if you come to me, what's our challenge? So our challenge is when we're having hundreds of orders a month, how to best organize those in a way that really scales and keeps the customers happy, but also acknowledging that we're not a tiny business anymore that can customize every single order to what people want. So it's just the kind of challenges that happen are different, but they're not expected at a growth stage.
Right, exactly. And I love how you're describing. I mean, this is the natural process that every business goes through. But I think what you said, the luxury challenges, right? It's problems, but it's problems that you have once you've grown, once you have a list of customers, once you have a certain revenue. And so those are different problems. And obviously, an entrepreneur that is growing, who wants to have more clients and wants to grow, and an entrepreneur that is scaling, who needs to have systems and create really the processes to be able to have more sales. There are different problems, right? And so talking about that, and that's exactly what we talk about in our mastermind, I would love to hear from you, Melissa. Why do you think that masterminding is good or positive or helpful in general? And also more specifically for the scaling stage? Like, why do you think that this is something that is helpful for this stage specifically?
So I think, I mean, as you mentioned before, the scaling stage, like all businesses go through a certain progression as they get bigger. And I think that when you get to the scaling stage, you're a lot more similar to other businesses than you were at the other stages. So whereas before you might, we're battling with our living room and somebody who's giving services might be let's say, giving a session in their living room, and that way it's the same. There are very different challenges. I think when you get to the scaling stage, there's a lot more similarities. So when you speak with other people and you kind of hear what they're saying, first of all, you feel like you can help them. I have gone through this, or I had that same question or something similar. But also you can get input, and that you actually feel like everyone's at the same stage. They're knowledgeable enough in business, not just in their own business and their own specific concern, but more in business. And I will say one more thing about masterminding with you, Natalie, is that you bring this added value where you come in and if we didn't realize it ourselves, you tell us how we're saying the same thing, even though we think we're saying different things. So, whether it's to kind of group it together and say, well, the three of you have a strategy issue, or these two have a marketing issue, or whatever it is. And it really is very helpful to see how, even if we think we're different, we're actually very similar, and the approach can be the same, and we learn approaches as well. So I think that's very helpful.
I love it. Wow. Thank you so much. I think that this is also the power of masterminding, is really to learn from each other, to brainstorm from each other's experience. And of course, having someone that facilitates it makes it even better. I know that someone told me once, that they were trying to put together a group of entrepreneurs and say, oh, let's do our own mastermind. And it lasted like maybe, 2 months, because it is something to be able to facilitate and to get people on the call and to have that feedback and to get the right people also on the call. So I really appreciate what you're saying. And so my last question is going to go to Gaby. And I would love for you to share with us one specific example of how a mastermind session, or this activity of masterminding, brainstorming with other people and being on a call with other people and talking about your challenge, because this is what we do in a mastermind call. We talk about our wins, we talk about our needs, we talk about the lessons that we learn, we talk about the accountability that we want. But more specifically, I would love for you to share a specific example of how it helped you with a specific challenge after coming to a mastermind.
Sure. So we recently had an opportunity to take over another internet business that was in a similar space to ours, but not exactly what we were doing. So we were kind of umming and ahhing with it for quite a while. So we brought that up in the mastermind, and then a few things happened. First of all, we talk to each other a lot and brainstorm, but there's something about getting different perspectives, and also how you present it to different people. So even the process of actually explaining what's going on when someone is not familiar with that sort of clarifies it more in your own brain. And then hearing ourselves explain it and seeing people's reactions, not even if we didn't do what people might have said, but you sort of get a sense of oh, this is how it's sounding. It made it easier for us to kind of sharpen where we were at with the whole thing. And like Melissa mentioned, with your kind of able to highlight certain issues that are there that we could actually understand. We basically came to understanding that this was something that, a term that you like to use a lot, which is a bright, shiny object. It was something that looked attractive, but would take us away from the focus of what we're trying to grow. And we ultimately stepped away from that. But it's with the help of kind of putting it out there and trying to identify what's really behind the decision that helped us reach that decision.
Love it. I love what you said about, what it does to help you already from preparing for the questions, right? Or for the need, what is the problem that we're going to talk about and how we're going to present it. You actually, before the mastermind, have to prepare this for those of us who do it, right? But the preparation and the deciding which problem am I going to bring and how am I going to present it and going over it before we even present it to the mastermind is already a step that is very helpful. So I love that you also added that. And then, of course, everyone's feedback and brainstorm is definitely helpful. I'm happy that it helped you solve your question. Well, thank you so much, Gaby and Melissa. I can't wait to see you on our next mastermind. We actually have another pre-launch of the Scale Your Business Mastermind this Sunday. And so this is by application. So you have to be scaling your business and you have to really apply to get to the mastermind. But if you're interested, if you're scaling your business and you've been in business for a long time, you have a lot of clients already, even though we always want more clients, but you're ready for systems, you're ready for teams, you're ready to optimize your profit, then be in touch with us so that we can see if you can join us for the pre-launch on Sunday and join Gaby and Melissa in our mastermind.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in our next mastermind. Thank you, Gaby and Melissa.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.